back to my channel. So today's video, I thought I'd talk about how you know whether you've had like an effective workout. I'm going to take this off because I just end up playing with it the whole time. But I wanted to talk about that because I used to get really disheartened if I didn't have like a really sweaty workout or if my muscles didn't feel sore enough. To define like what a good session is, for me it's usually just any session that takes you closer to your goal. That can be anything. Your goal can be that you want to get stronger, your goal can be that you want to become a faster runner or a faster cyclist, or you want to increase your flexibility. There's loads of different types of goals that you might have, and so your sessions are going to be geared towards that. Before we go into the science of a good individual workout though, a really big thing that I learned is that effective training is about your program as a whole and taking a long-term approach. Also, it keeps you happy because I used to think as a single session as being a single session. Like if I didn't hit that single session really hard, then I would feel guilty and I'd feel rubbish and it was a rubbish workout, and I just think about it the whole day and I'd just be like, oh, that was crap. I need to start over again. And I kept like trying to go for these ridiculously hard sessions and I was just burning out. Like I had no energy to do anything. I had sessions where I qualified them as great sessions. I was like, yes, that's great. I just need to get on that and do that for the rest of the year. But actually, because I trained so hard, my muscles couldn't recover. I can basically not walk for the next day. And that's okay. Like once in a while you push yourself, you don't quite realize that you push yourself to the limit. But trying to go hard and like as hard as possible all the time is just going to make the quality of the rest of your workouts go. So things that aren't signs that you've had a good session are sweat, because sweat just depends on so many things. When I was in Miami, I literally just walked into the gym and I was sweating. So that has to do with humidity, obviously the state of hydration of your body. Sometimes the temperature is really hot outside, so it depends on lots of different things. See, I feel like if I was in a hot country, given how tired I am, I'd be sweating so much. But I'm just really cold, so I'm not sweating at all. But I'm definitely exhausted. I feel like I should be sweating. And then the muscle soreness, again, it just depends on like your muscle recovery, how well you stretched after your session. So I definitely know if I haven't stretched the next day because I have muscle soreness, and that's not necessarily that I've had a good session, even though I have done the same like damage. It's just that I didn't stretch or warm down properly. But now we're going to kind of categorize the different sessions that you can have and what signs you might be looking for to kind of say whether you've had a good session. So the first session that we're going to talk through is cardio. When you're doing a cardio session, usually the signs you're looking for are your heart rate. So typically scientists will say that if you are within 75% of your maximal heart rate for 20 minutes or more, then you've had a good cardiovascular session. So you can use your heart rate monitor, or you can do what I do. I'll look at a watch, take my pulse for 6 seconds and times it by 10, and then I know that my heart rate is such and such, and I know that my maximal heart rate will be around like 190, 195, something like that. For hypertrophy, I would say you've had a good session if you've done for every exercise about 3 to 5 sets for 8 to 12 reps within 1 to 2 reps of failure. So failure being that you can't lift the weight anymore and you're losing like correct form. And here you're kind of basing it on a rate of perceived exertion. So I can't tell you whether you're 1 to 2 reps away from failure. You'll probably tell it from your face, but you can tell yourself. So your rate perceived exertion will be out of 10. 10 where you're just like, oh my god, this is horrible, I can't do this anymore, this is so hard, I've never worked so hard in my life. 0 being like, I could do this for the rest of my life, this is the easiest thing ever. So you have to kind of judge where you are, and I'd say if you've done those sets for a specific number of exercises, and you've worked at that level where you're like an 8, 9 at the end of your set, then that's great. You've had a good session. I'd say for a good hypertrophy session as well, you've managed to target the load on that specific muscle group, even if you haven't sweated, because sweat isn't always like a signal that you're working hard. So that's another important thing that I'd say. If you're doing a strength session, this is now your max, so you'll be doing like 1 to 5 reps max. So max you'll be working like rate perceived exertion, 9 to 10, like this feels so hard and you can only do like 5 reps or 4 reps or however many reps that your program is set out to do. That's kind of, that I would say is a good strength session. Sometimes it can be really easy to obsess over the numbers, so you're like, oh, but I didn't hit my PB, or I know I can lift heavier. But the thing is, everyone has different training days. Like not every single day is going to be your strongest day. You can only go in and try your best. So as long as you've tried your best and you've worked for those like 5 reps at your best ability and you've tried your hardest, then that's all you can ask for on the day. And I don't think I've ever come across an athlete, or even from experience, I don't think I've ever come across someone who said that on the path towards their goal, they've had like a consistent, like every single day their training session is great. I've never seen that happen to anyone. You're always going to have little dips, you're just not going to be feeling it, you might get ill, things like that. So it's really important to just remember that and just think, okay, that was not the session I was after, but I gave it my all and that's all I can do. If you're doing plyometric or a HIIT workout, again, I would just say that through those intervals, you've pushed yourself as much as you could. So you're at a rate perceived exertion of about 10 if you're on those like 30 seconds on, let's say, and then rate perceived exertion of 1 to 2. I know you're going to be catching your breath, so it's going to feel tiring, but in the actual exercise you're doing, you should just be like at complete rest, focusing on recovering and then going back. I can feel the lactic. The important things to look for to know you've had a good session is that you've jumped as high as you could, as far as you could. It might not be the furthest or the highest you've ever jumped, but in that session, that's the best you could do and you gave it your all. And then lastly, you've got your skills sessions. So this can be anything like balance work, coordination work, agility. And again, these things don't necessarily mean you're going to sweat. In fact, sometimes I'll spend like an hour just doing balancing stuff, or I'll spend an hour just doing flexibility stuff, or I'll spend an hour just prepping for a somersault or something. I don't feel that tired, but my brain is working. I'm concentrating on the move. I'm just learning a new skill, so just trying to get my muscles to work in a specific order or together, or yeah, they're just things that don't necessarily exert a lot of energy, but if your goal is to improve your balance or to improve your agility, then those are things that you have to do and practice over and over again in order to get better. So those sessions take you towards your goal, and I'd say that's a good session as well. I don't think I could do any more, but if I was using the same like thought process of like you need to be sweating and everything, I would probably just not do any of these exercises, even though they're really beneficial to calisthenics. Overall, you want your training to improve your life. So if you come out of your training session, you feel good and you feel like you have more energy, you feel like you can focus more, you might sleep better, then that's a good session. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I get asked a lot about how you know you've had a good session, and typically it can be really disheartening if you didn't sweat loads or you don't have muscle soreness or things like that, but they're not the definitive answer of having a good session. It just depends on your session, and also remembering to look at it as like a long-term thing. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm currently working on my new guide called Cut. I've called it Cut because I want it to have a lot of information on like the training and nutrition for fat loss, but more importantly, just kind of like cutting out all of like the fad diets, cutting out like the feeling unhappy with yourself, cutting out like the extremism with training, with nutrition, just cutting out all of that like bullshit really, just cutting out all of that and just focusing on training smartly, training efficiently so that it doesn't take over your life, and you can enjoy everything else that life has to offer. Just making sure that it's providing as much information as possible. So I've teamed up with Renee McGregor again, so she'll have approved the nutrition side, and I'm really excited about that. and I'm really excited to bring it out in general. I've already got a training guide move if you guys are new to my channel, so that's in the description box below as well. It's on my website. Go check that out. That's exactly how I train. So if you like some of the styles that I was showing in my video, go check that out, because that's kind of how I bring in like weight training and then athleticism into my own training. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys very soon, and I love you. Bye.